Hey, how you doing? I'm back. 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 It is 11:11, y'all. I am recording 11 o'clock at night. Okay. Usually I always record like in the morning and stuff like that, but yeah, I just feel to record some videos tonight because I took a nap. I don't even know what time I'm gonna go to sleep tonight, but I probably end up going to sleep late. But I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I know I said like 1,000 times I'm back. All right, so I'm gonna react to 5 things I hate about the US after moving to Sweden. I always react to my boy, what's his name, Andrew videos. I learned so much from him, so much about Sweden, but not just him, of course other videos of and the comments for the people who are from Sweden. I learned a lot from y'all too. But yeah, so let's just get straight to the video because I know y'all tired of hearing me yapping.
Coming at you. In this one, we're going to talk about 5 things I hate about America. Now, hate is a very strong word, but I got to say I hate these 5 things. Now, no, I do not hate my country. I love my country, and I want to see it succeed. It's where I come from, so let's just get that cleared out of the way.
I agree with him 100%. I don't hate this country. I just wish I wish they could do certain things a little different.
Okay, but there are 5 things that I think are absolutely hurting our country and making it worse, and I would like to see us get better as a society. And like it or not, America is an important country in the whole global scheme of things. So let's all talk about these 5 things and tell me what you think. The number 1 thing I hate has to be the 2-party system. I believe that the 2-party system, only having 2 80-year-old dudes you can vote in, like this next election, which is going to be Trump and Biden, it's hurting America. It creates a us and them mentality. And how can a country that's so diverse, the most diverse country in the world, has so many different groups of people in it, only have 2 ideas to pick from? And I think we would be way more less like us and them mentality if you had 5 political parties: a far right, a more center right, a center party, a more center left, and then a far left, and you would have 5 different parties right there. This would be great, and that's not even including the Green Party or independents. This would create a situation with less hostility and actually get more ideas in there. I also think it would create a situation where you'd have a bunch of different political parties that would have to work together, find a way to work together, and fix certain policies in the U.S. I think it would be better for government overall. But you got a problem in a situation where you got Democrats and Republicans. They don't want to give up their power. And if you even look at all the presidential elections over the years, besides the one where we had Ross Perot, if you're a president political candidate and you're not a Democrat and you're not a Republican, TV networks don't want you on. And it kind of feels like the last couple years, the elections has all been about ratings, TV ratings, and not necessarily about what's best for the country. And I don't think there's one American out there that is so diehard Republican or so diehard Democrat that they don't want to have more political parties. It's something we got to do. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
The number 2 thing I hate about the United States is our news media. It is absolutely disgusting. It is a ratings-based news media. And the thing is, the media isn't honest with you. And before people start freaking out at me, all you got to do is look at who donates to the media.
He's right. I'm not saying anything more about that, but I agree with him.
And you see that you got prescription drug companies, NRA. It's basically lobbyists. So this creates an incentive for the news media to not talk about certain stories, to push certain narratives. We don't have like a publicly funded news.
I mean, he's right. I mean, I don't see anything he say wrong. I watch the news so much. I mean, I don't watch the news no more. Why am I saying? I don't really watch the news. Okay, let me just clarify that. I do not watch the news because sometimes the stuff they be talking about it don't really be that important. You know, right now people are marching right now here in New York because the rent is so expensive here. You know, and we don't get the pay is not enough. Okay, we don't get the wage does not add up the cost of living here. You know, so. But they don't want to talk about stuff like that. They probably talk about it for like maybe a quick 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes, maybe a minute. And then they'll talk about other stuff that's not even that important. So, yeah.
And when you take a look at this from when I look at Sweden, for example, Yes, Sweden has many different types of news. I've seen far right news, left news. But if you're just watching the regular news, yes, there are biases in it. But I feel like that they are more fair when they talk about the news and less sensational. I don't feel like when I'm watching Report on television here in Sweden that they are so concerned with the ratings that they're making every single thing sensational. It doesn't mean that Sweden doesn't have these type of things where there's news that's kind of like garbage news media. But in the U.S., it is just all about a click. It's kind of a consequence of the internet in a sense, but that is one side of things. Number two, when a crazy person goes in with a thing that goes boom, they're always showing that person's face because ratings. You look at Donald Trump. CNN is going to have Donald Trump on recently because of ratings, because they want to have the ratings. And they don't necessarily do what's best for the country either. All they care about is eyes, views, and it's capitalism, baby. I get it. But I think that that's not what the American people need. And even if you look at like political commentary on these channels or debates, it just becomes a cesspool of getting that gotcha moment. Ooh, I said something and I got you, and then it's clippable and you're going to see it on TikTok or YouTube. And then I don't really feel like there's any real discussion or sharing of ideas. It's just talking points, and it's destroying political discussion and debate in America. The number 3 thing I hate about the U.S. after living in Sweden for so long has to be our complete and total lack of compassion. You know, I don't really know what happened because, and I will say this, I still think Americans are very, very charitable, but I've changed my perspective. I used to think, wow, Americans are so charitable, we just donate, until I realized half the stuff we're donating to is like medical bills when, you know, Jeff Bezos is rolling around in his $500 million yacht, that our priorities seem to be a little bit screwed up. It feels like, in particular, that something has happened over the last couple years where we kind of look at each other with less compassion and we dehumanize each other. I guess it makes sense in this two-party system when Democrats are always calling the Republicans idiots, racist, these kind of names, and then you got the Republicans calling them names. You hear libtards, you hear all these different things. They're dehumanizing people that are transgender or LGBTQ,
and this is crazy. Why both parties can't come together and help the people? Why we have to split? Why we have to separate each other? Why we can't, as people in a country, can just love one another, respect one another? Like he said, there's no compassion at all. It's not there. You know, the only way people help each other, they have to get something to return. You know, that's what they're thinking. Like, if I donate money to you, I gotta get something back. You know, and it's like he said, it's like it's all about money. You know, people don't really care about each other here. I mean, I'm quite sure other countries are like that too, but it's sad that we live like this.
This total lack of compassion, of not looking at each other like they're humans and sitting down at a table and having discussion, is destroying the country, destroying the politics, and creating, again, an us and them mentality. I think we would benefit so much more from trying to understand each other and have compassion. You know, what I like about America, or love about America at this point, is that we have so many different people and that you can kind of do your own thing and you can make your own life for yourself. And people, for the most part, will let you do your thing. There are people out there that just want to exist. That's it. They just want to exist. And then you have people saying they can't exist, or dehumanizing them, or purposely dead-naming them for some cases. I just don't get it. To me, just let people be. Let people live. Like, religious freedom, go do it. You want to go to a mosque? Do it. You want to go to a church? Go for it. You want to be gay? Go for it. You want to be transgender? Go for it. I do not care. And this total lack of compassion is really hurting America. And it's selfish and it's wrong. And personally, I see it on both sides. Maybe one side I see particularly more than others, but that's up for you to decide and not what I'm trying to do in this video. I'm just saying, man, if we could just try to walk a mile in others' shoes. I know that sounds hyperbolic or whatever, but seriously, if we could just try to understand each other more, I think we would be better as a society. And going off that lack of compassion, the things that go boom, number 4, I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate that people have to live in fear in the United States because the NRA needs to lobby and politicians want to turn the other way. This needs to change. And if you don't think this needs to change because you need to have your little LARP going on, I mean, I feel like half of Americans are LARPing with their assault weapons, like they're going to use it for in-home defense, which makes no sense. You don't want to be firing a high-capacity magazine and a high-capacity round inside your home, especially if you're trying to protect your family. But this idea of doing nothing, this lack of compassion for others, that you just hope that it's not your kid, you know? You just hope it's not your kid.
That is so true. These people only focus on, as long as it's not my kid. They don't care. Like, it's just sad. You would think the first time when we had the shooting in school, I don't know when it started. I don't know what year. But when the first time when a person came and started shooting up the school, you would think stuff would automatically change. But no. It's like a norm here. It's like a regular thing, you know? People, it'll happen. Let's say if it happened today, people will be sad. People will watch the news and they'll be like, oh, that's so sad. But, you know, in their mind, they're not thinking, you know, well, they're thinking like, well, it's not my kid, you know? But then the next day, everybody just go back to their normal life. Like nothing didn't happen the other day. Like 30-some kids lost their life and we're just going back to normal like it's nothing. Like, hello, 30 kids lost their life and we're just going to ignore what happened yesterday? The news, you know, after a while, the news is going to stop talking about it. So, you know, they don't want to talk about it no more. Now they want to focus on unnecessary stuff. It's like, hello? A lot of people lost their life and we're just going to pretend like it didn't happen until it happened. The next following year is going to happen again and then we're doing the same thing over again. Like, oh, it was so sad. 30, 40 people lost their life. 100 people lost their life. Oh, this is so sad. Oh my God. They, you know, and, you know, they're going to send their condolence and all this other stuff. And then, like, weeks later, we forget all about that. Like, like, it never happened. So I kind of agree with him. It's kind of sad, you know. They don't focus on these type of things, and it's like they'll talk about it, but they're not actually doing anything about it. Cause let's keep it real.
You just hope that it's not your loved one, and you just bury your head in the sand. That's been the U.S. strategy: bury the head in the sand.
Yeah.
Just hope that nobody you care about is affected.
Yeah.
You know. But in my life, I can think of like 4 people that I know that have been affected by things that go.
The only way it'll affect them if it happened to one of their kids or one of their family members. You'll see things will change. You know, I'm not, God forbid, but I'm just saying, if anything like that happened to one of their families, their loved ones, please, things would definitely change.
Boom. Some have been unalived. Some have been injured. And when it starts to happen to people that you know and care about, it starts to change your opinion.
Yeah.
And that's where that lack of compassion comes in.
Yeah.
People shouldn't have to live in fear.
No.
Kids should be able to go to school. We can find a common ground. We can find something that makes common sense. I feel like there's so many people out there, they just want to win. They just want to win at all costs. Instead of trying to find some common ground, and on this issue we can't seem to do it, although the majority of Americans want change. I do believe change is coming on that one, but it's something that I absolutely hate about America. Number 5. The number 5 thing I hate about America is money in politics. I mean, if you're just thinking about it off the top of the head, like, what is it? Nancy Pelosi, probably the greatest stock trader in history. I'm sorry, her husband. Nothing shady about that, by the way. But all these politicians that, first of all, I don't believe that politicians should be allowed to own stock. I think they should have some type of mutual fund that they can buy into that's a collection of stocks that someone else manages and that they cannot buy individual stocks while they're in Congress. You shouldn't get into Congress for money to begin with. You should get into Congress as a civil duty. It shouldn't be something where you're a career politician. In my opinion, you should maybe be a politician for no longer than 10 years. It should be something that's passed on. The career politician thing doesn't work, in my opinion. And then number 2, the lobbyists, because so many career politicians, they get elected and then they want to just keep getting reelected, so they don't actually make change.
No.
They don't actually rock the boat or do things because they want to keep the status quo going. They don't.
It's like, why are you here? Why are you here? You didn't do anything the past 4 years. You didn't do anything. So why are you here? Seriously, what's the point? What's the point? I personally don't understand the point. Like, why you still want to be the president? Like, why? You didn't do anything when you was in the office. So I just don't see the point.
Really listen to their voters as much as they listen to those that are giving them money. So that means if the NRA is giving me millions of dollars, I'm probably not going to do something or vote against something that's going to go against the NRA. When the prescription drug companies are funding my political campaign, I'm probably going to look the other way when a couple of people get unalived because they were on pain medication. This is another thing that happens in the United States. The money in politics is what is destroying our country. We need politicians to stand up. It's crazy to me that we don't have more politicians standing up and going, okay, let's take this out. Does everybody agree? And then those that don't agree should get voted out. I don't think there's any American that thinks it's great that there's money in politics or that you have think tanks. You have billionaires spending money on both sides, mind you, Democrat and Republican, to keep us divided, to keep us fighting with each other, and suddenly they take more property. Suddenly something else happens. They get us to look the other way. The markets crash, they get us arguing with each other, they swoop up a little bit more. Suddenly it costs more money to buy a home. We're not stupid, guys. This money in politics thing needs to stop, because you cannot have a democracy when it doesn't actually work to serve the people. And we are seeing this time and time again. And it's not just in the United States. We're seeing this in other Western countries as well politically. But nowhere near to the same extent. But we are seeing some levels of the corruption, and we're seeing some levels of money in politics. But I personally believe that if this continues and continues to happen, you will lose your democracy. It'll crumble. It almost happened. And I believe that the Trump wave is nothing more than a result of the fact that the middle class has been getting screwed for years and years and years. They listened to his message. He got elected. And you saw the danger there of our democracy. So I think our democracy is at risk. And until we make these changes, we could slip into a dictatorship at any time.
I don't even know if it's going to get better, my brother.
I do not believe it's going to happen. I believe that we're on the right track. I think that it's inevitable that change is happening just based on the amount of young people I've talked to, how I've seen young people respond to things that are happening in this country. Not in the country I'm in now because I'm in Sweden, but in the U.S. And again, just being out of the United States for so long has allowed me to see my country in a different light. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button. I apologize if I haven't been uploading so frequently. Last couple months have been quite challenging. I've had a lot going on in my life. And then just with this time of year is always busy based on the profession that I have. All right, guys. So I will try to keep uploading as much as I can. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hello.
Yeah, man. There's so much to talk about, but I'm quite sure. 21 minutes. Oh, my God. I love to talk about these type of things because I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was the only one that started noticing certain things. That's why I don't watch the news. Like I said, I don't watch the news that much because they all say the same thing. Nothing's never been done. It's always talk. This is always talk. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. This is why I don't watch the news, because they focus on the wrong things. They don't focus on the most important things. So that's one of the reasons why I do not watch the news. You know, because it's always the same thing. The same thing. Every president says the same thing. But one thing a lot of people don't know is that sometimes the presidents, they can't really do much, to be honest. I'm being honest, because at the end of the day, they have to go through Congress. You know, the Congress have to give them the okay to get stuff done. So you can't really say it's the president. But like I said, all the presidents, they're just a face, you know. They're just there. They're just there, you know. They're just there. I don't know what else for them to do, because like I said, they're just there, you know. They're just there to hear what we have to say, but can they really get stuff done? I don't think so. Like I said, they have to go through Congress. The Congress has to give them the okay. Like, all right, you're good. Yeah, go ahead. Give them that. Go give them that. Go ahead. But comment below. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you agree with him? I totally agree with him. I agree with him. I've been saying this for a long time. I mean, I don't like to talk too much about politics and stuff like that on my channel, because there are going to be people out there that disagree you know, and I don't like to get into that type of argument with people. I don't, yeah. Like, there's certain things I just don't like talking about, religious stuff and politics and other stuff. Certain things I try to stay away from, you know, but I agree with him. So comment below, let me know how you feel about this video, and I will see you later. Peace.